Although every mall developer has their share of failures, the Mills Corporation seems to be the most notorious for them. In keeping with that tradition, we'll be looking at St. Louis Mills, a victim of bad position.
Ooh. Not much?
Just finished.
Yeah.
Well, as usual, let's start off my personal thoughts and feelings about this mall with the general look of the mall. And I have to say, I feel like I have the unpopular opinion here. People seem to go out of their way to spew hatred against the Mills designs. And honestly, I just don't see why. Dan Bell influence, maybe? Maybe sterile white and beige is the new hot thing, since mall developers seem to be building all that shit nowadays. The sheer fact that it's built after the year 2000? Call me stupid, but I just don't see the hate. Personally, I actually kind of like the colorful style of the Mills malls. It is a welcome change, and it's much more interesting to look at than the beige and white sterile aesthetic, or lack thereof, that so many mall developers seem to be after nowadays. Ugh. So, looking around this mall and reading up on its history, I can see what the Mills Corporation was going after with this mall. An enclosed mega center focused on shopping, dining, and entertainment. Should be a trinity for success, right? But ultimately, a number of Mills properties suffered from three things: location, location, and... can you guess? That's right, location. If you look around this mall on the maps, you'll see that, well, yes, there are neighborhood developments directly southeast of the mall. There are only one or two small service roads linking them directly to the mall plaza. Beyond that, there are industrial developments in different directions of the mall, and then to the northwest is nothing but empty fields and a few houses that are probably suitable for the set of a half-assed Wrong Turn reboot. And on top of this, I'm sure having competition from other outlet malls didn't really help the Mills at all. Here we are at the food court, which precedes the theater, which we'll get a look at in just a moment. I'm just surprised by the sheer size of a Mills mall. Each one of these buildings could hold up to 200 plus stores and around 8 to 10 acres surrounding the mall. And here in the food court, there are probably a little over a dozen spaces for eateries. Just imagine all the hopes that the developers initially had when they built this mall, in hopes that the people would come. But alas, the people didn't come, or at least nowhere near the numbers that the developers were expecting. And as a result, we're just left with these big empty spaces that lead you to strange and spooky sights. Something needs to be done about these empty spaces, and it needs to be done quick. Scattered throughout the mall on some of the darkened storefronts are these interesting little quotes about shopping. I'll admit some of them are humorous, but at this point, it's just too little too late. I mean, where's there even left to shop? Take a break from reality. I think we all could take some notes from that. There is at least still some entertainment and recreational activity here, like that little mini golf course, which I believe is backlit. Further down you have the skate park, which as we saw is open. The details were kind of murky when I was looking it up, but when I was there, I clearly saw the shutters up and open. And then last but not least, up ahead is the ice rink, which appeared to be closed while I was there. But there were people inside resurfacing the ice, which you'll get a look in just a moment. And there is the only place to eat in the entire mall, Wetzel's Pretzels. Now, they don't pay me to say this, and they don't have to. Wetzel's Pretzels, they're delicious. The only thing that would have made it better is if they had nacho cheese in stock, but nonetheless, if you're in the mall, do get the pretzel before it's too late. While having a pretzel, I did notice one guy skateboarding up and down the mall, and he was really smooth with the way he put the skateboard up before any employees saw him. I mean, yeah, it's cool, but at the same time, does get your mind going about the what-if scenarios. I mean, it does look like fun skating up and down an empty mall, but in all seriousness, that really should just be kept to the skate park. That's why it's there. Also, seeing that kind of made me realize Paul Blart's not really anywhere to be seen. I could have easily gotten away with using the GoPro here, loud and proud too. Up ahead is Ross Dress for Less, which has severed its mall access, like a lot of places really. In fact, they're so fed up with the mall that they recently sued the owners over rent issues. I fear this is just going to do nothing but worsen the mall's condition, which is already in dire straits. A Yankee candle by any other name would smell as sweet. Is there any saving this mall? Well, Woodmont seems to think so. One of their plans is to downsize the mall considerably and focus on building up on recreational activities. One of the employees at Wetzel's Pretzels says they plan on building a baseball field, a couple tennis courts, soccer fields, maybe a couple basketball courts. Again, only time will tell if this will work, but given the issues surrounding the mall and management at this particular location, I doubt it'll come to fruition. Let's hope they can prove me wrong. As we're walking back towards where we started, you'll see that most of the stores with exterior access, if not all of them, have just up and severed their mall access. I find it a little odd that most of these places would want to remain attached to a dead mall, but that said, oftentimes it can keep quirky malls like these open. Just look at the Millsified Forest Fair Mall in Cincinnati, another mall I've covered. So we're going to start packing up here, but before we go, I did get a shot or two with the GoPro. We'll switch over to that on our way out and really hear how quiet this mall is in 3, 2, 1. The dead silence in this mall does feel a little like a slap in the face by reality. I keep saying, we need to do something about these empty spaces, and ideally, we need to do something other than just demolish these properties and leave them for dead. But that's not for me to decide. I'm just an idiot with a camera. Thank you for sticking with me through this visit to St. Louis Mills. If you enjoyed this video, throw me a like, share the video, and subscribe. I already have a huge number of malls covered, and I have even more on the way. Your interest helps build the momentum necessary to keep me going to places like these. Now that said, if you didn't enjoy the video, do tell me how I could improve. Until then, this is Doomie Grunt, wishing you and the St. Louis Mills farewell.